Hello everybody, it's Brian for thetechera.com, and today I'll be doing a quick review of Samsung's Galaxy S3 in white for Verizon. On contract, this phone will cost you about $200, but off contract you'll have to pay about $600. Now quickly going over the specs, we have a 4.8-inch Super AMOLED HD display at 720p resolution, a 2100 mAh battery, an 8-megapixel rear-facing camera with a 1.9-megapixel front-facing camera, a 1.5 GHz dual-core processor, 2 GB of RAM, 16 gigs of onboard storage with expandable storage of up to 64 GB via microSD, and this phone runs Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich. Now the design of the phone is quite nice. It's definitely Samsung's best looking phone they've come up with so far. On the left side we have the volume rocker, while on the right side we have the power button. No two-stage camera shutter, which is very disappointing. At the top we have a microphone pinhole and the 3.5mm headset jack, while at the bottom we have the USB port. On the back we have our 8-megapixel rear-facing camera with LED flash and the speakerphone, as well as some Verizon and Galaxy S3 branding. The phone itself is very light, which goes without saying because all of Samsung's latest devices are incredibly light. Now because of this, I would recommend getting a silicone case. That sort of adds a little bit more weight to it, and it also makes it easier to hold because the plastic body, it is quite slippery in my opinion. Now quickly going over call quality, it's actually pretty good. The earpiece on the front of the phone is very clear and crisp. Now also, like most Samsung devices, the camera is very good. As you can see from these sample shots, the 8-megapixel rear-facing camera does a very good job at capturing photos. Colors are very vibrant and accurate. The same things can be said for the 1080p video quality. The display is one of the best features of the Galaxy S3. Colors are very saturated, but sometimes oversaturated, so when you're watching movies or videos with real humans, their skin will slightly appear more red than they should be. Thanks to the 1280 by 720 resolution display, everything is very crisp, pixels are very hard to see. Now thanks to that dual-core 1.5 GHz processor and the 2 GB of RAM, this phone has no problems whatsoever with performance. Everything is very quick, smooth, and snappy. Applications load very quickly. Web pages also load very quickly without any slowdowns when scrolling up and down. You could easily open multiple tabs without any problems at all. You could quickly switch through open applications and open a bunch as well. Again, thanks to that 2 GB of RAM. Battery life is better than I expected, especially on 4G LTE on Verizon. Of course, if you are just on a 3G network, that will definitely help a little bit, but for the most part, you will easily be able to get through the day with, your usual set of tasks, checking Twitter, emails, a couple of phone calls, games, web browsing, of course. All those things this phone can handle throughout the entire day. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, this phone does run Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich with an upgrade to 4.1 Jelly Bean scheduled later this year. The overall OS, it runs perfectly fine, as mentioned in my performance overview. Samsung does have their TouchWiz overlay on top of the stock Android 4.0 experience, so now exclusive to the Galaxy S3 is Samsung's S-Voice application, which was actually hacked onto other phones, but this is basically a direct competitor to Apple's Siri. You could tell that the interface looks quite similar. What's the weather like in Los Angeles tomorrow?
The forecast for tomorrow is mostly sunny.
Now overall, Samsung definitely has a winner on their hands with the Galaxy S3. They really did a good job on this phone. It's their best looking device yet, and it's just a very nice package overall. The design is great, its performance is perfect, especially thanks to that 2 gigs of RAM, which is pretty much unheard of on a smartphone nowadays. The display and camera are also top notch, and this is overall a pretty good experience if you're looking to upgrade to a new Android smartphone. For the full review, check out the link in the video description below to go over to thetechera.com. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can leave those down below in the comments area. But that's it with the video, so thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you all very soon.